morning, everybody. Happy new week. I am super, super, super excited to be sitting here next to one of my the press newly published authors, Ajok. Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good
It's
to be
amazing
here.
to have you after such a long journey of us. Since what was there a couple of years ago we initially met?
Around about a year and a half.
Year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you've
18
got
months.
your amazing book, From Broken to
Yes,
Believing. Show us. How was the feeling getting it in your hands?
Oh my God, the feeling is just undescribable. So amazing. Oh, can't believe I'm holding it in my hand. So I'm so excited. I'm really happy, and I don't even know how to say it, but unexplainable feeling.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Jock. And so I'll give everyone an introduction as to who you are before we get into, what people would learn from your book. So let me do the official intro and then we'll get stuck into the conversation. So guys, Ajok Aguot is the author of From Broken to Believing and is passionate about helping women heal both emotionally and spiritually. Her message is to share a roadmap to achieving confidence, connection, and living a life of purpose. Ajok is now in the process of publishing a book. Well, it's published right now, and hope to inspire and help others through emotional healing and building confidence, self-love, and encourage and empower women to take back their power within while encouraging them to grow their faith and build a connection with God. She's a single mother of a beautiful 4-year-old boy, Riel, that she loves and adores. She loves being a mother to her son, and he brings joy and laughter every day to her. She grew up in a refugee camp in Kakuma, Kenya, before immigrating to Australia with her family at age 13. Following a career in early childhood education, Ajok is now supporting women through her coaching services to rediscover self-love, work through childhood trauma and abuse. Her own story will inspire and give hope to those most in need. Ajok is a Christian woman who found comfort in the connection with God and hopes to give women the strength and tools to rebuild and create the life of their dreams. So it's wonderful to have you. So let's break this down a little bit more for everyone listening. By the way, guys, I'll give you a closer look at the book cover. Gorgeous book cover, by the way. How the Power of God Saved My Life. And that's the, you've got such beautiful hair when it's all out. So I'm really, really happy how far you've come. So talk to us, maybe how long had you been thinking about writing a book, and where did the desire to want to write it come from?
I never actually thought about writing a book before, but just going through my healing journey and really discovering God. I went through emotional abuse and I find myself in a really dark place, and I didn't really know who I was and what I'm called. So by spending time with God, really discovering who I am again, like coming out of emotional abuse, it really destroyed my self-esteem. I didn't know who I was anymore. So I just going to a healing of journey of really discovering who I am. And that's how I find God. So God led me to writing this book.
Yeah, it was like a symbol or a sign that you got from him.
At that time when I was really depressed and feeling so ashamed of the guilt of the things that I went through, I was spending a lot of time praying, fasting, and just knowing again, who am I? Like this relationship really lost who I am. So at that time, God was showing me first thing he was showing me was to let go of the guilt, to let go of the pain, and also the people who hurt me. And as I gone through that healing, he started showing me the person that I'm going to become. And that was through dreams. I would have dream about writing a book, and I would also have vision that I was writing a book as well. And that led me to that journey. And I remember one time I was doing fasting, and as I was doing fasting, I heard a voice say, pick up the pen and write a book. And I was like, oh. So I tried to ignore the voice, and then it started repeating itself. So I began to listen to that voice. And through that moment, I had self-doubt. I'm like, I don't know anything about writing a book, and I have never done that before. Who is going to help me? And then he said, don't worry about who is going to help you. All I just need you is to just start it. Start working on it. I'm going to bring people. And that, I trust that voice and just going through it, not knowing that I'm going to meet amazing people along the way that are going to help me bring this book to life. So
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Wow. I always say, it's not about writing your first book, it's about the person you become at the other end of it. And
Yeah.
at the very beginning of the interview, it's an undescribable feeling. That you go, how do you think you have changed through the process of writing the book? Like I know that for me, it was like I had this massive boost of confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, all that sort of stuff. What about yourself? How are you feeling now?
Yeah, definitely. It's grown so much. It changed who I am. I'm believing myself a lot more now. I'm more confident than I ever been. And I can see myself, like someone who's worth, doing things, someone who is going to help people. And that's the journey that God called me. When He spoke a word, He said, I call you to heal the broken heart. He said to me, like, this pain that you are feeling, it's a testimony to someone else. I want you to use that pain so that you can go and help someone else, you know? And that's the journey that I am in, and I trusted and just going with it, not knowing this is where I'm going to be. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's very exciting. And I can't wait to see what my book is going to do for others. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more, I guess, the content. What would people get from reading your book?
My book, I'm hoping this book is going to help people heal and, build their confidence and just knowing who they are again. Because when you're going through something, sometimes you lost yourself and you don't know who you are. So this book is about discovering who you are, what you are called, and going through healing of loving yourself again and just moving forward and start loving the life that you always, desire or always been, and you just kind of lost it along the way as you go through difficulties and life challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, how do you help people? Like, how do you, um, what's your vision of what you'd like to see yourself doing? And currently, I mean, I know you've also got an amazing website. I'm going to share a little bit later. But talk to us, maybe how you, as say someone reads the book, what kind of support can they get from you?
The support I really hoping to helping women is just like going through. I'm going to be doing like coaching where I'm, having women coming together and really learn about who they are again, going through their healing, building their self-esteem, and also, loving themselves as they go on to loving their life again. So, yeah, definitely creating a program that is going to support women discovering who they are again.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you think most women struggle when it comes to like coming out of, emotional abuse? What do you think is, what held you back the most, or how does someone recognize that they might be being abused emotionally? Sometimes people think maybe what I'm experiencing is normal. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Mostly, most of the time, especially emotional abuse is not really recognized a lot. Not a lot of people know about it because, people really talk about domestic violence and all of that, and it's a crime that people go to jail. And emotional abuse, it doesn't have that. So people not aware of how damaged this type of abuse is, and the things that people experience from emotional abuse is more damage than anything else. So for people recognize that, it's just looking at the pattern, like the behavior, like the type of abuse that you are experiencing in that relationship. And sometimes it's like, someone humiliating you, shaming you, putting you down. Someone is like, in a control of who you are.
Yeah.
And these are the type of abuse that emotional abuse that people go through. And someone comparing you to someone else, just belittling you of who you are, and you kind of lost yourself on that. And sometimes you're trying to prove yourself to, trying to please others, or, like trying to make you look like I'm doing my best. Why this person keep putting me down?
Yeah.
And you just kind of lost who you are along the way in the process.
Yeah. How did you, what was your kind of defining moment to say enough is enough? Did you have kind of a line in the sand moment that, where you said, I'm not going to put up with this anymore? And how did you go about getting out of it?
Yeah, I definitely did. At that point, I knew I wasn't supposed to live the way I was living, because it just so much that went through. And at that moment, I remember just as I'm praying, I want to fix everything. I'm like that type of person, like to fix things. I didn't see there's a problem because I'm just trying to fix it. But me trying to fix it kind of made me feel stuck. And that because I was not accepting the reality of how things were. So I was trying to kind of pretend like things didn't happen and just continue working on it. And that's led me to the place of depression, feeling stuck, and just not knowing who I was anymore. So at that moment, I said, it's been 2 years. Why am I not healing? I'm asking myself, like, this is not a normal, like, it's 2 years. Normally, you're getting out of a relationship, you heal and you move forward. But this relationship, it's just something that is not something I experienced before. So I was like, this is not normal. I have to do something about it. And as I'm sharing, because a lot of people don't know the type of abuse of this thing is, because someone is not putting your hand on you most of the time, doesn't take it, you don't take it serious, like this kind of abuse or something like that.
It's not physical, it's sort
Yeah,
of,
it's not,
think it's
yeah.
not real.
Yeah. So, so me trying to speak, I remember I was sharing my story to someone, and then this is someone who has gone through a similar situation, and she recognized the sign. And then she's like, I think you've been emotional abuse. And I'm like, what is that? Like, I don't know what it is. So I began to going on and just doing some research and really learning about it, the type of abuse it is. And it's worse than anything that I have ever experienced. Yeah.
Because it really plays on your mental health. And
Yeah, like my mind was, it's just like I had so much anxiety. It's a lot of things. Shame, even speaking about it was something that I was ashamed of. I have never spoken to anyone about it because I feel so ashamed to speak on it.
yeah.
So yeah,
So how did
definitely.
you start to rebuild, like, or some tips for someone who may have, moved, like they're aware this is what's happening? What's your advice? How does someone rebuild from something like that?
What I would say to someone is, it's just know the situation you are in, recognize the abuse. And also what I would say is, when you go through it, have compassion for yourself. Like a lot of time we blame ourselves for things that happen or the things that you've gone through. So be okay to have compassion for yourself and just go through healing of discovering who you are again. And next thing I would say is, accept the situation. Don't be in denial of saying, this is not, it's not real, because someone is not physical putting their hand of you. You kind of, not taking it serious like it's abuse, but it is. So, accepting what happened, have compassion on going through it, and, learn to let go of it and move forward.
And read books like yours. Read books.
Yeah, like, get
Yeah.
Get you go on your healing where you knowing who you are, like reading books, do meditation, and also listen to like motivational speakers that can help you, or like a music that is going to help you as well, positive music. And think of positive things, like think about who you are again, like the person you were before you met someone who did this to you, and also like change your mindset to think positively,
Yeah. And you
and
journal as well. I mean, for you, part of your healing
yeah,
has been
write
to
a journal.
yeah,
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 definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would encourage people to really, doing journals and really forgiving yourself as well, because a lot of time we don't forgive ourselves because we didn't know like what was happening. You kind of feel like how did I allow this to happen?
Yes.
It's not your fault. So I want to tell you, what happened to you is not your fault. You didn't know who you were dealing with. So have compassion to forgive yourself as you move forward.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people repeat patterns and cycles in relationships, and they attract a very similar partner the next time around. Do you deal with some of those things in terms of how do you not, attract, a partner that's going to repeat that same process?
Yeah, definitely. I would say, work on yourself, getting to know who you are again, because as long as you being single and really know who you are again, you get to know who, like the type of relationship that you attract. You can just see toxicity relationship and you just know this person is not right for you. So
Yeah.
take your time, go through healing journey, really discovering who you are again and loving who you are, because when you love yourself, you're going to attract someone that, that is going to love you, you know but if you don't love yourself, how could someone love you? So sometimes, we go out there trying to put our love to someone else, and we're not giving it to ourselves. So most importantly, really pour onto you, getting to know who you are again before you go out there and start pouring onto others. And you will
I
see,
agree.
as you take time to heal, you will see the type of relationship that you can see something that is bad and something that is healthy for you. So taking your time and getting to
Like
know
that
who.
saying, I don't know who said it, but be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, because if we keep attracting things that are unresourceful for us,
Mm,
or it's coming somewhere from what we think and believe maybe about ourselves,
mm,
and therefore the external world is bringing it into manifestation.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you start to love and respect yourself and
Yeah.
really take care of yourself, number one, then you
Mm-hmm.
start to attract
Mm,
other people doing that from you. We're a mirror, right, to the world.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they say. I heard something that they say, like, when you are bleeding, you are like attract the shark, like, so, it's really, it's just saying of like, if you're going out there trying to search for love and you're still hurting, of course, you're gonna attract those hungry,
Yeah.
those who are not healthy for you, coming to you. So it's important to really work on yourself so that you heal, and you attract someone who's right and healthy for you, and healthy relationship is going to come for you. You don't have to go and search for it. It's just going to come naturally. So taking time and really loving yourself and heal
Yeah.
yourself before you go into the next
I
relationship.
love that metaphor. When you're
Yeah.
bleeding, the sharks are going to come, and the sharks
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
people. That's very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. So talk to me a little bit about the process of writing the book. How long did it take you to go through it? I know we didn't get it done all in the 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
That we generally can turn
Yeah.
the book around. Talk to me a little bit about the process, how you found it, and now the book's here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Took me like around 18 months altogether.
Mm.
And before, I think I met you around 2020, and then I was not ready at the time.
Oh,
So I
that's
think I was like, no. So I was like, just, I think I was not really ready to really putting myself out there, and just feeling some type of way about it, of like writing a book. I didn't believe myself, by the way. So that's like those stuff that I was feeling. So I kind of put it off. And then I came back around, I think 2020, 2021 or something like that.
yep.
So I got an
A
email,
year
and
later, it was
a
like
year later, yeah, around a year later. So I got an email. I'm like, so I was praying at that time. I was like, I was asking God, like, who's going to help me? And before I met you, like, I find someone who's, wanted to help me with it. So when I sent my book to her to really look at it, I see like the way she was explaining it is like she want to change some things, and make it look like about her, like make it look like about her, not me. So I was like, this is doesn't seem like, it seemed like she wanted to change everything. So I was like, no. So I didn't follow up, and I was praying for it, and God was telling me, don't worry about it, keep working on it, you're not ready yet. So I was like, okay. So I started working on it, and then when I got your email, I'm like, oh, I got your email, and I look at it. First, before I got your email, I was going through Instagram, and I keep seeing your name every single time. Like every time I log on, it's your page here. And I'm like, this is weird. Why can't I see? I was like, why am I keep seeing this woman all the time? What is this? So I think 3 times I kept pushing it up, and then I was like, okay, let me just click on it. So I click on it, and I was just looking. I was like, oh, okay. So I messaged you that time. I was like, oh, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then from there, yeah,
Yeah.
there it is. Yeah, here we are. And God was telling me this is the right person. This is someone who's going to help you. I want you to start focusing, start working on it, because she's going to bring this book to life. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So, I just, that's where, like, when I got your email, I was so excited. I'm like, yeah, I was like, I don't care about my finance, whatever, just do it. That was just the excuses that I was trying to make. I think I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do this and trust like everything is going to work out. I
Yeah.
like God is going to provide for me, even though I don't have anything. I feel like, you know what, I'm just going to do this. And I know something that God spoke to me and said, I want you to making sure that you bringing this book out. So it doesn't matter, go on it and just trust me that I'm going to bring this book out of you.
Yeah.
And this is how I went through it, that journey of just trusting myself and trusting you guys to help me get this book
Well, we're
come
super
out.
proud
So
of you. Yeah, you
yeah,
went
thank
through, you
you.
had to learn everything, like
Yeah,
editing, you had to go through the layout stages.
yeah,
You've just received your first copy, and the bulk print is
yeah,
going to be released, and we're going to let people know how they can get a copy
yeah,
themselves. But yeah, look, no matter how long, sometimes people take the 3 to 4 months, and
yeah,
sometimes a little bit longer, but it's really wonderful to see you come the other end. The most important thing is that you finished. You can
yeah,
experience the benefits of
yeah,
being a published author and helping other people. Yeah.
yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful. So where I'll share your website as to where people can find out a little bit more about your services and what you do, and then we'll let people know how to go about getting it. Now, because this interview is going to be out there, guys, for a while, you will also be able to find this book on all your good online reseller stores. But currently, there is a link that will be posted just below this video. If you're watching it as a live stream, it's a tiny URL which will be able to take you to a shopping cart to be able to get the book. But I'll share the website. Ajok's website is this: discoverselflifecoaching.com.au, and you can check out about her services, about her programs, and she also needs to get the book up on the website as well. I've told her you need to plaster it everywhere,
Yeah.
all over your website, because it is your credibility building tool.
Okay.
It truly is about you. We want to put
Yeah,
your face everywhere, because that's
definitely.
what people will relate to, right?
Yeah.
And just one more look at the book cover. Here it is, gorgeous: From Broken to Believing, How the Power of God Saved My Life. And I'm sure if you have somebody in your life that might be experiencing this, would be a good idea to let them know and to read someone's story, because really, once people relate to other people's stories, they go, I'm not alone.
Yeah,
Other people have gone through this, I
definitely.
would know what it is. You've got a couple of comments here. Beautiful, inspiring story from Chrysanthi. Dora says, beautifully spoken, Ajok, so inspiring. Julie saying, amazing interview, Ajok and Nat, really proud of you. Your book is
Oh, thank
amazing.
you.
Lindy, if you can also pop in the tiny URL there,
Thank you.
I will send that to you, and we'll put that there where people can actually buy the book in the time being. But if you're watching this interview, listening to this interview at a future stage, probably in the next 2 weeks, you'll be able to find it on Amazon and all your good online resellers, because we're about to release distribution. And Ajok's going to get it on that website as well, as soon as possible. But we have an in-between link that we can pop in there, that you can get it directly, and so she can organize an order and have it signed. Any final words of wisdom as we wrap up this interview?
Yes, thank you. I just want to, let someone know, and just encourage you to, when you are going through something like that, I want to encourage you that, you can seek help somewhere, like professional help, therapy, or, spend time with God as well. God loves you, He knows what you're going through. So I want to encourage you to have that personal relationship where you can spend time in prayer and just getting to know God and getting to know who you are again, if you're in that place where you feel yourself that you lost somewhere along the way. Yeah. And also I want to say, um, learn to letting go of things that you're going through, letting go and forgive, and
Most importantly, forgive yourself, right?
yeah, forgive yourself, and moving forward and start loving who you are again.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, so well spoken. Can't wait to maybe reconvene for an interview in 6 to 12 months' time and see how everything is going in the women that you're helping everywhere. So I look forward to catching up with you. I have met Ajok guys in real life. We had lunch earlier this year on the Gold Coast. And, maybe we'll catch up again soon in the next couple of months when I'm back up there. But yeah, she's a pocket rocket of a woman. I didn't believe she was so tiny when I met her. So she's a true pocket rocket.
Thank you.
I love it. And yeah, I really appreciate you trusting us with your story and everything that you're sharing now with the world. And I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. So
thank you.
have a great week ahead, Ajok. And as I like to say, go out there and smash it out.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.